What's up, sports bettors? My name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and betting analyst for OddsJam.com. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about NFL betting and specifically how to make money betting on the NFL, talking about NFL systems, models, algorithms, different stuff like that, strategies that you can use to bet on the NFL and make money doing so. So I figured let's get into it. Number one, and this one sounds obvious, but it's probably the most important thing you can be doing if you're going to bet on the NFL, is you have to be line shopping. That is the number one successful system in terms of betting on the NFL. Take, for example, the screenshot I have up here right next to me. So what I have up is just the total of a standard NFL game, 48, 48 and a half. But what you can see from this screenshot is one particular play has a value play if you are looking at the holistic betting market. And we are looking at here is the minus 110 odds on the over 48. If you're looking at this screenshot, what you can see here is every book that is either pricing that total specifically, 48, or pricing this total in general, has it priced above this number. Either they have 48 priced at minus 113, minus 115, minus 121, something like that, telling you that the more likely scenario is that this total goes over the 48 number. Or every book is telling you this total should actually be a half point higher. It should be at 48 and a half, not 48. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. I can understand beating the closing line by a point or half a point, something like that. It doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but trust me, when it comes to the long term of betting on football, betting on the NFL, even if you beat the closing line by half a point, even if only by that half a point, that can literally be the difference between you winning 50% or 60% of your bets. And over the course of a year, if you bet at minus 110 odds, you basically need to win at about a 52, 53% of the time in order to be profitable. So literally beating the closing line by half a point can literally make you losing money to making money. So whenever you are betting on a spread, betting on a total, even on a money line play, you always need to make sure that you are looking at the holistic betting view of the market, what every other book prices the spread or a total, and then just use the sports books against each other. Take advantage of these mispriced lines. Take advantage of books that have something mispriced. So for number one, the most profitable betting system, betting model, betting algorithm, whatever you want to call it, you need to be line shopping. All right, and the next model that I want to talk about is positive expected value betting. Positive EV betting is a really, really easy way to ensure that the bets that you are placing have some sort of edge over the sportsbook that you're placing the bet on. You're betting on FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, whatever. When you are betting positive expected value, you're gaining an edge over the sportsbook that you're placing the bet on. So let's start from the beginning. What does positive expected value mean? So at its core, positive EV betting means you are placing bets that you know as the sports bettor have a better chance of occurring than the reflected odds of the sports book that you're placing the bet at. Now, I know that sounds like a wordful, but I promise it's actually not that complicated. The example I like to give regarding positive EV betting, just imagine you're flipping a coin, but you know that the coin is weighted heavier towards heads. So you know that it's going to land on heads. It's a 55% chance it lands on heads as opposed to a 50-50. But nobody else knows that, just you. So if you are placing a bet with someone, flipping the coin, you're going to choose heads every single time, even if it lands on tails once or twice, whatever. You know that in the long run, it'll land on heads more often than not. That's what positive expected value betting is. We, as a sports bettor, thanks to the positive EV betting model, know what a market should truly be priced at. We know that the coin is weighted towards heads. And I figured I would provide another screenshot of an example to show you what I'm talking about. What I have up here is just a money line odds game for the 49ers versus the Rams. And let's just look at what we see. Number one, this is a positive expected value bet. The play is on the San Francisco 49ers money line at minus 126 odds. And there's a couple things you need to learn about how we know this is positive EV and what that means. So on the far right, you see the plus 131 and the minus 131. Those are the quote unquote no VIG odds of this specific play. The VIG, all you really need to know about the VIG is it's just the juice that sportsbooks price odds. So if you see something, a standard VIG minus 110 each way, that basically means that if you bet $100 on the over at minus 110 odds and you win, you will profit $90. If I bet $100 on the under, obviously that loses. I lose all $100. Profit 90, lose 100. $10 goes to the sportsbook. That's about a 5% edge, 5% vig, and that's how sportsbooks make their money, by charging up these vigs. So in order to understand what truly a market should be priced at, what you need to do is remove the vig, which is exactly what is done on the far right of the screen here, minus 131 and plus 131. And the way this works is there are certain sports books that are better at pricing odds than others. Bet Online, Bookmaker are two of the sharpest sports books in the world. They both agree that the San Francisco 49ers, they should be priced at minus 147. So this is where your weighted coin comes into play. These books know that the 49ers should really be priced at minus 146 because they're much better at pricing odds. FanDuel, they don't know that the coin is weighted, so they are only giving you minus 126 odds. All in all, with the vig removed, prices the 49ers money line at about minus 131, but we can get them at minus 126 on FanDuel. That is a positive expected value play of about 2%, which is what you see on the far left here. That 2% number is very important. It's basically your percent edge over the sportsbook, in this case, FanDuel. That's also your mathematical profit margin. So if I bet $100 on the San Francisco 49ers money line, I could figure to make about $2 as my theoretical profit margin from this play. Now, I understand that there's a couple points to make there. Number one, how can you have a profit margin for a bet that hasn't occurred yet, a game that hasn't occurred yet? It's a good question. That's why I said theoretical. You will notice that over time, if you track it, your theoretical profit margin will start to equal your actual profit margin. So even though if I bet $100 on the 49ers, if they win, I get all that profit. If they lose, I lose $100. Over time, if you're consistently tracking your positive expected value bets, your expected profit will start to equal your actual profit. Another thing, $2 probably doesn't seem like a lot, understandably, but a couple things to keep in mind with that $2. Number one, it's just one bet. I would imagine if you're watching this video, you're probably placing more than one bet when you're betting on the NFL or NBA or MLB or whatever. So multiply this one bet by how many bets do you think you place in, like 25, 30, maybe lower to 15? That still makes $2 turn into $40, into $50. Let's say you bet more than $100. Let's say you bet $200. Well, that $2 turns into $4. That 50 turns into 100. That's just one bet that has that profit margin. Some bets have higher, 5%, 6%, something like that. And when you're betting on sports, you will realize this profit when the sport is played. So for the NFL, it's on Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays, whatever. It can basically be viewed as a financial investment that is realized tonight or tomorrow night, whenever the game is being played. Other types of investing in housing market or in the stock market, you're not seeing those type of daily returns, but you can with sports betting. So positive expected value betting, it's not the only way you can bet on sports and be profitable, but it is a very easy way to bet on sports and be profitable in the long run. Okay, and the next betting model that I want to highlight is called arbitrage. Now, this is going to sound like a scam or some sort of get-rich-quick scheme. I can assure you it's not. Arbitrage betting is literally a guaranteed profit when you are arbitrage betting. Literally guaranteed. There is no scenario when you are arbitrage betting in which you lose money. Now, how does that make sense? If there's a way you can guarantee money, how come everybody's not doing it? Well, most people think it's a scam, admittedly. But arbitrage betting, the way it works, an arbitrage bet is when you are placing a bet on both sides of the same exact outcome. So you're betting on an over and an under, whatever, something like that. But the odds are in such a way in which you can literally guarantee profit from betting on both of those sides. The sports books have such mispriced odds between the two of them that you can bet on both of those sports books and guarantee profit. Again, it's not a scam. I can assure you it's a legitimate way to make money betting on the NFL. So let's talk about it. What I have up on the screen here is an arbitrage opportunity looking at the Steelers versus Jets game. The specific market is the first half total points. The sports books in question are PointsBet and FanDuel. And what we can see here is that the total is over under 20.5. The over is priced at plus 120 on PointsBet. The under is priced at minus 100 on FanDuel. And the math is exactly on the screen here for you. If you bet $100 on the over at plus 120 odds, and you bet 115 on the under at minus 110 odds, you will guarantee a profit of $4.76, essentially a 2% profit. Now, there's no scenario in this in which you are losing money. If the total goes over, perfect. Your points bet wins. You profit $220. If the under hits, no worries. The under would have hit in your FanDuel bet of minus 110 odds, and you would have profited $220 from risking $115. So the grand scheme of it is you have to risk $215 for a guaranteed profit of $200.20. Arbitrage is a very, very easy way to build your bankroll. As you can see, the profits are a little bit lower, risking $215 to profit $4 or to get revenue of $220 doesn't seem like a lot. Let's turn this $100 that you're risking into $1,000. Then this profit turns into $40. So depending on what your bankroll is and depending on your desired outcome of betting on sports, how much money you want to make, you can kind of use these arbitrage opportunities to kind of fulfill your bankroll. It's a nice way to get risk-free money without having to worry about anything. There's no sweat, there's no nothing. You just have to watch the game play out and know that no matter what, you're going to be profitable. So the next model to talk about, as I just mentioned, arbitrage in sports betting, guaranteed profit. All right, in the next sports betting model slash algorithm slash system, whatever you want to call it, that I want to talk about is middle betting. Now, when you are doing a middle bet, it is very similar to an arbitrage bet in which you are placing bets on both sides. But in this case, when you're placing a middle bet, there is a scenario in which you can literally win both your bets, or if you end up losing one and winning one, you still won't have lost money from that interaction. So an example of a middle bet would be you bet on a team's spread minus 9.5, and then you bet on the other team's spread plus 10.5. So if the favorite wins by exactly 10, you would have won both your bets. But the odds shake out in such a way that if the favorite covers or if the underdog covers, whatever, you still won't have lost money. Again, the easiest way to explain it is to provide an example, which is exactly what I have on the screen here. In this case, we are looking at the Green Bay Packers versus the New England Patriots game. As we can see, again, we're looking at PointsBet. The other bet, in this case, the other book is Tipico. PointsBet, you are placing the Patriots plus 15.5 at minus 170 odds. On Tipico, you are placing the Packers minus 14.5 at plus 170 odds. So let's pause and see what the screenshot here is telling us. So if the Patriots end up covering 15.5, meaning if they lose by 15 or fewer points, you would have bet $100 at minus 170 odds, and you would have profited roughly $58.82, or you would have gotten a payout of $58.82. On the other side of that, the Packers side of that, if they win by 15 or more, you would have risked $58.82 to profit $158.82. To profit $100, so your total payout in that case would have been $158.82. But what we see here is that what happens if the Packers win by exactly 15 points? It's not out of the realm of possibility, winning by exactly 15. It happens enough. Well, you would have won both your bets, and you would have gotten a total payout of above $300. So you would have risked $200 to make over $300, or to profit like $110, something like that. So middle betting is an easy way to cash out, possibly cash both options, while still not losing money on any of the other options. Because as we can see here, if one of the events happens but the other one doesn't, it's a 0% profit. You didn't lose money. So basically, your risk was 0. Your potential profit was 110. Those sound like pretty good odds to me, pretty good value bet to make. So middle betting, arbitrage betting, positive EV betting, line shopping, these are all different strategies, different models, different algorithms, different systems in which you can make money betting on sports. No one is better than the other. Depends on your desired outcome. For positive EV, you have the highest potential profit, but you also run the risk of losing the bet and have the lowest potential loss. With arbitrage, there is no scenario in which you don't profit. There's no scenario in which you even break even. So if your goal is to just, even if they're more modest profits, but you still just want to have consistent income, check out arbitrage. Or if you want to kind of split between the two, try middle betting, in which there's still no scenario in which you're losing money, but your profits are still high. And if the middle exactly hits, then you can try middle betting. Each of them has their pros and cons. The best strategy, the best way to make money betting on the NFL, use all three. Use positive EV bets with bets that you like, arbitrage games in which you don't find an edge, you don't find a value, and place middle bets every once in a while to hit that potential lottery ticket. But that's going to be it. That is going to be the different types of betting strategies, models, algorithms that you can use to make money betting on the NFL. Would appreciate it if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, if you want more of this type of content, if you could like the video, comment, let me know your feedback. If there's something I got wrong, something that didn't make sense, something that you didn't like, you can comment in the video as well. All feedback, even if negative, is appreciated. And then of course, if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, get access to all of our videos moving forward, some picks related, some more educational like this one, and then share with your friends. If you liked it, share with your friends, help them cash out as well. But that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.